Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Disney Dining Show. I'm your host, Pete Werner, joined at the table this week by my good friends, Mr. Charles Boda.
Hi.
And, okay.
Hi.
And Mr. Steve Porter.
Hello.
This week, we realized it's a little early, but a lot of people are already making plans for the holidays at Walt Disney World, in specific the Christmas season. And we thought we would do a list of restaurants that we think best kind of capture that spirit, meals that, you know, are good to have if you're visiting for the holidays. I have one that is, you know, just it's a staple for me. On the night that I do Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, which I think this year will be in like friggin' September, because they're doing them earlier and earlier. It's actually not. It's in November. But the Liberty Tree Tavern. Mm-hmm. First of all, it's that, you know, typical kind of, it's a holiday meal. And not a lot of daylight between a Thanksgiving dinner and a Christmas dinner. Turkey, ham, stuffing, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, things like that. On the menu. I like to make it an early dinner, do it, 4 or 5 o'clock, maybe 6, before the party starts, kind of have that meal, and then go out in the park and do the Christmas party. And for me, that's just when I think about doing Christmas at the parks, that's what I think of. Now, we're not talking about meals to do on Christmas Day. Talking about, let's say, coming down, late November, early December. You want to have that Christmas experience. And that, for me, is a great one. The other one, obviously, that we can't overlook is the Candlelight Processional Dinner Package. I can't think of anything more Christmassy than Candlelight Processional Dinner Package.
Yeah.
So if you're not familiar with what this is, Candlelight Processional is a concert that is put on twice a night through the holiday season, right after Thanksgiving till... it's right after Christmas, right? They run it after Christmas? Right?
Sorry.
Not even paying attention. Why do I even have a producer? But whatever. It's through the holiday season. They do 2 shows a night. There is a huge choir it's a huge choir, and made up of local high school choirs as well as cast members from Disney who audition. And a celebrity narrator reads the story of Christmas from the Bible. And it's peppered with all of these, Christmas songs. And it's amazing. And it's, again, something that, I have to do every year. And again, I have my mother and I, we love Rose and Crown. Mm-hmm. We do the Rose and Crown in the afternoon, and we do the early show of Candlelight Processional.
It's one of those shows and experiences, too, that even if you are here a little bit earlier in that November time, that, it's not necessarily quite Christmas, it can kind of set you into the season even a little bit earlier because it brings out that Christmas spirit so much. Yeah. That it kind of can, for some, I think it's good to actually go earlier because it kind of sparks the season.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. That's a good point. But, it's like we were thinking about restaurants that really kind of fit in with that Christmas feeling.
Yeah, you're not going to go to any restaurants that are just themed as Christmas or anything like that. But to set the vibe, one of the common things that goes is, if you check out Liberty Tree or something like that, it's got, it's family style. And it is also kind of like a intimate family setting indoors, huddled in together for the winter eating kind of thing. And a lot of the ones have a warm appeal or an intimate appeal. Candlelight Processional still has this, I associate it with, I've only been there the once. My girlfriend and I went with Pete and his mother, and it was fantastic. But I associate it with a very Christmassy, everybody together family kind of thing now in my head. And a lot of these restaurants, that's what you're getting when it comes to the holidays. It's not necessarily, here are a bunch of lights, but it's what puts you in that holiday mood. That hey, we're all having fun. We're all sharing a moment together in the season. That's kind of, I think what one of the common denominators is on a lot of the ones we've chosen.
And we also said one of the a good restaurant to pick for Candlelight Processional is Le Cellier in Canada. Again, it's that kind of like that really warm vibe, and it's a steakhouse, and so I just, for me, it kind of goes with the theme. There was some back and forth as to whether France fits into that. I think an argument can be made for it. I think we can safely say like Morocco, Japan, China don't really fit the theme. But I mean, we could say Mexico, but then if you want good food, you don't go to Mexico. The Mexico Pavilion. I'm not saying the country. I'm saying the pavilion. So, Steve, you had a really good suggestion that I just always tend to forget. HoopdeeDoo review.
Yeah, I love the HoopdeeDoo review for Christmas time. They have Christmas decorations, and if you've never seen HoopdeeDoo before, it is a live stage show that they perform to you in front of while you're eating. And so there are a couple Christmas songs. I think there's like 2 or 3 Christmas songs that they integrate into the normal routine that they do. So it kind of just adds to that whole Christmassy atmosphere. And there's the ornaments and the evergreens kind of around the entire building. So I love that. Even as you're walking in, you feel that Christmassy vibe. So yeah, I think the HoopdeeDoo is a good one.
You also suggested something that I tend to forget about. They do offer it all year now, but the Earl of Sandwich at Disney Springs in the marketplace has their holiday sandwich, which is the turkey, the stuffing, the cranberry sauce, which again, I think that's more of an honorable mention here. It's not a quote unquote meal, but if you're over in Disney Springs, you're doing your Christmas shopping, you got the Christmas store right there, which is really cool, which is actually right next to Earl of Sandwich.
Yeah.
You go have, it kind of fits in with the theme. And I'm telling you, Disney Springs really can get you in the mood for Christmas.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
And now they do that Christmas tree trail and all that stuff. So if you're looking for something, let's say you don't want to sit down and do a table service meal and go through all that, head over to Earl of Sandwich. For the holiday sandwich.
Well, one of my favorite things to do when Christmas season comes around is I usually go with the coffee, but like you can also really theme it up with hot cocoa. But grab some of that for the week and a half that it's actually kind of cool or cold in Florida, and walking around Disney Springs, I can do that I can kill 3 hours just walking around, looking at the different lights, not even going into a store, and just like soaking up that vibe that happens, that just like weird communal holiday spirit that infects you in a good way.
All right. The other two on our list here are resort-based. And these are the 2 resorts we feel really do the best job in terms of decorating for Christmas. And these restaurants are a nice extension of that. Steve, you brought up Whispering Canyon over at Wilderness Lodge.
I think the Wilderness Lodge, the whole lobby is decorated so well for Christmas with the giant Christmas tree. And Whispering Canyon, you're you are in the lobby.
Right.
It's just attached right there. So you have that full view of all those decorations while you're eating. I wouldn't say there's necessarily anything about the actual meal that's Christmassy, but the just being, surrounded by...
Just the lodge itself.
Right.
The wood and just that whole vibe of the lodge and the grounds, it's just not hard. Mm-hmm. I think you could walk in, if you were of the mindset, you could walk into the Wilderness Lodge in July and feel Christmassy. Mm-hmm. I mean, because it's just that kind of warmth there. So, I find the food at Whispering Canyon to be fairly good. Mm-hmm. That's why Artist Point is not on this list, because I really it's too inconsistent. But Whispering Canyon, and that's food that's served family style, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, family style. It's like a barbecue platter kind of. I'm blanking on, I think they have ribs and some other, barbecue platter type food. And so I wouldn't necessarily say that is Christmassy, but just the atmosphere is so Christmassy feeling.
There's also a la carte.
And there's also an a la carte menu. Thank you, Craig. Craig has woken up and is now contributing. Finally, along those lines of restaurants, resorts with incredible Christmas displays and the restaurant that kind of carries it through, Citric Hose over at the Grand Floridian. I mean, let's be honest. I don't think any resort at Walt Disney World, at the very least, does as big or as good a job decorating for the holidays as the Grand Floridian does. Not only do you have that massive Christmas tree that just consumes the lobby, but you have that life-size gingerbread house that they make. Literally, they bake it from scratch every year and build this gingerbread house, and you can buy little gingerbread houses from it. Like, there's people inside working, and they're selling, peppermint bark and all sorts of baked goods and amazing gingerbread houses. So Citric Hose, which is right upstairs, it's on the second floor, I believe, of the Grand Floridian. Consistently magnificent food. Consistently magnificent. One of the more popular restaurants on property. I think it gets outshone by restaurants like California Grill, but Citric Hose may not have the view the California Grill has, but it does have an amazing menu and really, really wonderful food. So, we always suggest people in the holidays resort hop, just kind of go around, especially on the monorail, the Polynesian, Contemporary, and Grand Floridian, kind of check out the different decorations. You can do the same thing walking around Crescent Lake at Epcot with Boardwalk, Yacht Club, Beach Club, Swan and Dolphin. If you're doing that on the monorail loop and you want to have a nice dinner while you're at the Grand Floridian, can't go wrong with Citric Hose. So there's our list of places we think are the best for having a holiday meal while you're at Disney World, the Liberty Tree Tavern, before Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Doesn't have to be, but that's what I like to do. Rose and Crown and Le Cellier if you're doing the Candlelight Processional dining package. HoopdeeDoo review for the holidays. Whispering Canyon at Wilderness Lodge. Citric Hose at the Grand Floridian, and an honorable mention to the holiday sandwich over at the Earl of Sandwich at Disney Springs. And that will do it for this episode of our show. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again next week with another episode of the Disney Dining Show. Have a great week, everybody.